Welcome to Social Change and Development, the third session. Now we didn't actually have a lecturer for this course. Imagine that, and they're making the big hundreds of thousands, I don't know, millions probably of dollars, right? We didn't even have a lecturer for this course because the lecturer, he had one class at the start and one class at the end of the semester, right? And this is what he said. He came in the first class and he was like, I teach in this course every year for this amount of years. I teach in this course every year for X amount of years. And every year everybody failing. Every year everybody failing the course, right? So why bother to teach again? So he said he was conducting an experiment, right? To see how students will do if he actually doesn't teach, right? This is what I tell you all. Making money, your money, paying these people, right? But anyhow, rest in peace to that lecturer. He would have passed on. He would have had a terminal illness. He would have had an illness which would have taken his life, and that would have been, I believe, the reason why he did not conduct the sessions, right, the lectures. So as we would have discussed, we touched on topics of development and so on, and what true development is and what true development is not, right? So this session is dedicated to ironing out or weeding out inconsistencies in our life, right? And using spiritual law as the highest calling. Spiritual law is the path of non-violence. Using this pathway of non-violence in order to help us to weed out the inconsistencies in our lives. What does this mean actually, right? Now we can align, there's a reason why teaching spiritual law is being propagated, right? Is a reason why we are encouraging people to come online and teach spiritual law. Because as I was saying, aligning is one thing, but once you align with the law, you have a moral and a spiritual responsibility to come and share that knowledge with the world, right? Once you know that which is true, once you have come to a definite understanding via experience, via your research, whatever, once you have come to a definite understanding about that which is true, right, you have a personal and a moral and a spiritual obligation to distribute that knowledge in your own way to the rest of the world, right? It's not a difficult thing to do. Like I say, all I've been doing is holding up my phone to my face and speaking, right? And this is why I'll tell you all something. People might be wondering, like, in the past, my mom and I don't know, other females and so on, probably, or even males, would be watching my videos and be thinking, this is how scrappy I come in online, right? My hair ain't done, I don't have no makeup on, right? I don't look like the 144. Well, split that in half because half is female, right? So I'm not looking like the half of 144,000 chosen souls, female chosen souls, who have the hair well done, who have the nails done, who have the who wear decent clothes and whatever, right? And there's a reason for that. The reason for that is that I don't care, right? I don't care. The reason for that is that I am not looking for fans. I am not looking for people to jump on any bandwagon, right? I'm not looking for followers, right? I am not looking to be attractive or pleasing to the average eye, right? I am not looking to be pleasing or attractive to the average eye out there, right? And this is why I frankly don't give a shit about how my physical presentation is, regardless of who I am presenting to online here. I don't care, son. I don't give a shit about how anybody wants me to look. I don't care about how you think I should look, right? Because I am not looking for fans. I am not looking for followers. I am seeking to share knowledge to people who are willing to go through the video and extract the teachings and apply it to their lives, and then help at least one person to extract the wisdom from you that you have gathered and apply it to their life. That is what I am looking for, right? That is what I am looking for, right? As I always say, and as whoever has the wisdom to pick up on it, right? The truth is not always neatly presented. The truth is not always beautifully presented. The truth is not always sequentially presented. The truth is not always presented in an ordered fashion. If the truth is not necessarily presented in a way that you want it to be presented as, right? Sometimes we actually have to have the patience to go through, to navigate knowledge, regardless of that knowledge is in books, if it's in videos, right? We need to have the patience to go through the knowledge and to come to the understanding for our own selves, right? So how a person looks, how a person speaks, none of these things matters, people, right? None of these things actually matter in the reality, in the real reality that we live in. These are shallow components to live in. Whilst it might look good, it might grant you an interview, right? Because of how first impression matters and so on, right? But I'm not looking for those things, right? I am not seeking those things, frankly. I am just here doing my own thing, being myself, right? I don't try to be anybody else. The only person I could be is me, and there's only one of me in the world, and likewise there's only one of you in the world, right? There's only one of you in the world, right? But each of us are actually versions of each other, in case you all have not yet realized, right? Each of us are actually versions of each other in some form or fashion, right? All of us are expressions of God. Anyhow, back to this topic on social change and development, and all of this is included, and that is just that I've rambled on for a couple minutes, right? So, how can teaching spiritual law help us to weed out the inconsistencies in our life, right? And it's simple, it's by talking, right? By talking and speaking out. First of alignment is the first step, right? And in order to align, you need to face yourself. So facing yourself is actually the first step, right? Facing yourself is the first step to weeding out the inconsistencies in your life. Looking yourself in the mirror and being like, hey, I've been engaging in activities that have not been in the best interest for myself, my soul. I've been engaging in activities that was not in the best interest for the collective, for the society in which we reside, and it is my moral responsibility to take action to correct those mistakes, to correct those things, right? Facing oneself, right? That's one way in which it can help us to weed out the inconsistencies in our thought, emotion, behavior, and to not be a victim to this thing called cognitive dissonance, right? In which the cognitive dissonance is a psychological term, and what it means is the uneasiness or the discomfort that arises. Cognitive dissonance is the discomfort that arises when we know something to be one thing and we act contrary to that thought, right? We know, for example, I know eating meat is wrong, but I still going to eat meat, right? I know eating meat is wrong. I have the knowledge, I have the definite knowledge in my mind, but I'm still going to eat it, even though, and eating it brings about this uneasiness in me. Eating it brings about this uneasiness in me, but I am still doing it, right? That is called cognitive dissonance. You could research the term if you don't know what the term means, right? So, this is one of the ways spiritual law alignment could help you to weed out the inconsistencies or the cognitive dissonance in your life, right? And teaching it is a process. Alignment is one process that could help us to come closer to the truth. Alignment is one process that could help us to come closer to self and truth. And teaching it is the second process to help us to come closer to self and truth, right? And both are separate processes, right? I'm talking from experience. I can't talk from your experience. I could only talk from mine, right? Aligning is one process. We go through our emotional whatever, releasing emotional baggage and so on, right? Alignment is one process. Teaching it now is another process, right? Teaching it is another process, right? And both these processes combined together can help us to come to a definite understanding about this is the actual healing journey, right? it will help us to come to a definite understanding of not just things of morality, not just things of law and morality and nature and so on, but it actually helps us to come closer to who we are in terms of our authentic self, right? It helps us to come closer to who we are as an individual and in terms of individual expression and what do I want out of life, right? And help us to slowly and gradually is not an overnight process. Rest assured, I'm not going to lie to anybody and paint a pretty picture, right? I am not going to lie to anybody and paint a pretty picture of, oh, this is heaven on earth. Not as yet, but we will get there, right? Not as yet, but we will get there, right? It's just a tedious process. It's just trudging uphill, right? Which is the requirement for the heaven on earth. It is a requirement for the heaven on earth. So the question is, do you want heaven on earth, right? The question is, do you want heaven on earth? And if it is that you do, then you have no choice but to grow through the right? Grow through the go through, right? That is the process. And it is an uphill climb. It is an uphill climb, right? There's not a flat road, right? Not painting a pretty picture. Not saying that this is an easy process, right? Not saying that this is a simple this is something that a snap of a finger overnight one can do, right? This is a process that requires you to face the shadow side of you, right? The shadow self, and integrate that shadow side of you with your light side so that you become a healthy, emotionally, mentally, spiritually healthy individual, right? So this is true development, integrating the shadow and light side of you, true spiritual soul development that can create social change. We can do this through integrating the light and the shadow sides aspect of ourselves, right? Real spirituality is not love and light. Real spirituality is not just love and light. It has the love and light component, right? But real spirituality is love, light, and darkness. Love, light, and darkness, right? So this is a process, right? It's a process for social change to actually happen, right? And it needs to happen. More and more individuals need to be facing their shadow side and going through this process, right? Going through this process and speaking, right? Speaking. All of us are children of God, bear this in mind, right? Speaking, right? I wrote a book last year, right? Nothing really came out of it or anything. I wrote a book last year, which I wrote some poetry and stuff, right? And one of the poems was "Speak," right? Child of God, which is referring to all 7 billion of us, right? Speak, child of God, right? Chosen child of God, which is 7 billion of us, right? Speak, chosen child of God. Choose God and you are automatically chosen, right? Choose God and you are automatically chosen, right? Speak, right? Because it is in speaking. Now, I don't care whoever was in my life, is in my life, whoever I would have hurt in the past and whoever would have hurt me in the past. I over those things, right? And I don't care if anybody have to come online, because I would have done that too. I would have come online and exposed things, expose people, say what people did to me. And so I don't care if people have to do that to me, if that is what it takes for you to heal, right? If that is what it takes for you to truly heal, come online and blast me off, right? All you want. I don't care, right? I really don't care, right? If that is part of your healing journey and it will lead you to understanding true morality, and it will lead you to understanding truth, and it will lead you to teaching truth, then so be it, right? So be it. It is for the benefit at the end of the day and for the welfare of the entire society, right? So if that is what it takes for you to get everything out of your system, right, to tell the world or to tell truth or lies about things that I did, or you know, whatever, I would have gone through that process too, right? So people could feel free to do what they want at this point in my life, as insofar as it assists you in your healing journey, insofar as it leads you to the understanding of that which is true, right? Insofar as it leads you to the understanding of that which is true and leads to your actual true development, right? So third and final course session in social change and development, right? Like on this topic you mentioned the other day about being told that I was speaking as though I was in a bar, right? And I know many males, it's not just one or two, it's like many males will be turned off by this, by me speaking in this way. I don't care, right? Many males will be turned off by me speaking in this way, using words like fuck, fuckery, fuck that, the world is fucked, fuck thatness, right? Whatever, right? Males and females alike. Plenty people probably stop watching my videos because of this, right? But I don't care, right? Because like I said, I'm not looking for fans, right? I'm not an Instagram model. I'm not a mainstream media attention seeker, right? I am doing my own alternative work here, right? The true great work, right? I am doing the true work here, right? And if you all want, and I'll say this is a reason why the world is going to shit. You know why? Because 90% of you all out there actually prefer, men out there, right, actually prefer 7 o'clock in the evening to sit down in front your news, to sit down in front of the mainstream news, to watch these well-dressed, well-made-up, well-hair done, sweet-spoken, accent-spoken, sweet-spoken with the accent, the training, right, how to properly articulate, you all prefer to listen to the proper articulation of lies in the mainstream news 7 o'clock every day, every night, than to come and listen to somebody who cussing, but cussing and speaking the truth, right? Well, son, that is why the world is in the state that it is in, because you're just dumb. Because you're just dumb, right? That is why the world is in the state that it is in, that it is currently in, right? Because you all are carnal with carnal desires. You all are carnal with carnal desires, and you all prefer to watch and probably jock, right? Watch these sweet, well-spoken mainstream media liars, right? Rather than to come and take in a video which is forcing you to face yourself and face the crap that you are doing, right? Well, so be it. I know that I have gone through the process, right, of, as I was, my friend was telling me, right, that he was drawing reference to doing an exaggeration, right? So he was like, out of the 1,000 words I'm speaking, how I would feel if I listened to a video and 900 of those 1,000 words are curse words, right? 900 of those 1,000 words that I'm speaking are curse words, are fuck, right? Words containing the word fuck, right? So I was like, well, son, right? Let me tell you something. For me to evolve, I had to go through videos of people whose words were 999 words, right? I had to go through the videos of someone whose curse words was 999 out of the 1,000 words who actually curse words. That's how I was helped to evolve, right? I went through videos and listened to the one word, right? I didn't care about the 999 fucks, right? I didn't care about the 999 curse words. You know what I cared about? You know what I valued, right? I valued the one word, right? 1,000 minus 999, right? I valued the one word that was actually the truth, right? And I was able to put aside the 999 curse words, because the 999 curse words does not matter, right? What matters is the one word, and the one word is the truth. And the one word, in the beginning there was God, right? In the beginning there was the truth, right? And in the ending there will be God, and in the ending there will be truth, right? So this is the in the beginning there was the word, right? The word, the one word, right? The one word, right? So that was the one word that I chose to pay attention to, rather than paying attention to the 999 curse words, which is just, I know that is just a human imperfection, you know. It's just a normal human imperfection that You know, it has nothing to do with morality. It has nothing to do with that which is right or wrong on an actual it has nothing to actually do with that which is right or wrong, right? So I hope that this clarifies this. To be honest, I'd really like sometimes I would curse and go on, but it depends on my mood too and how I'm feeling at the time, right? So yeah, I'm out, people. I don't know yet what will be the next course, but it will come to me.